One of the top questions we hear, especially from new buyers, is how much money do I need to buy a house?
That's a good question. Yeah. Hey, y'all, it's Susan and Erin, realtors with Open Gate Realty Group in Midlothian, Virginia, here with you today to help break down some of the costs associated with buying a house outside of the actual cost of the house. We know, believe, and preach that the very first step always to home ownership is getting pre-qualified for a loan. And pre-qualified and pre-approved are not the same, by the way, so we can talk about that later. Yeah, there are online calculators and such, but it is so important to reach out to a real lender, and a local lender in your area is even better. That conversation will let you know your budget, your loan type, and down payment. If you need a local lender recommendation, we got you covered there for Richmond, so just ask us.
All right, so you got your pre-qualification letter. Great. Now it's our turn as your realtor. Let us know your budget. We go house hunting. We find the house.
We do.
And we get your offer accepted.
We do.
Then the serious work starts. The following 4 things to budget for when buying a home are for the state of Virginia. If you live elsewhere, please check with a local agent to verify how things work where you live. But
yeah, they're different.
For us.
Yeah, they're different in every state. So first, the EMD or Earnest money deposit. This is a fancy way of saying that you are putting up a good faith deposit to show the seller that you are serious and an able buyer. The money is usually due within the first 5 days after your contract is ratified. This amount of the deposit depends on your contract. In most cases, the minimum is $1,000, but it's becoming more common for sellers to request 1% of the purchase price up front. In some cases, a higher EMD can be used to strengthen your initial offer. The check you write for the EMD is deposited with your title company or settlement agent and held in escrow. Ask your agent exactly who to make the check out to, and this means, yes, that the money is deposited into an account. Your check is cashed. We've heard that question so many times, so we have to make sure we emphasize it now. This amount will go towards your down payment or closing cost at settlement. In the state of Virginia, if the contract falls through during the contract contingency period, you will get this money back. Now, there are caveats to this, so make sure to discuss this with your agent.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so second is the home inspection. The cost of the home inspection will depend on the age and the size of your home. A good ballpark for this is between $550 and $700 and is worth every penny.
Yes.
In the state of Virginia, the seller pays for the termite inspection as well as the septic inspections if applicable, and all of that as part of the purchase agreement.
Yeah. Third is the appraisal. If you are getting a loan, an appraisal is mandatory. If you waive the appraisal contingency as part of your contract, the bank still requires it. Okay, so it costs between $500 and $700 depending on your lender, and this is due within the first 10 days after the contract ratification. If the contract falls apart after the appraisal has been performed, you're out that money. You will not get it back. A cash offer does not require an appraisal.
Correct. The fourth and final on our list is your closing costs, which vary for each transaction. We refer to this gem as the cost of doing business, and this is in addition to your down payment. So be sure to ask your lender up front for an estimate of these costs, as you will need to bring this money on closing day. Your lender and settlement agent will give you the final amount closer to your closing. Closing costs cover the title fees, taxes, insurance, HOA fees, recording fees at the courthouse, etc. So a ballpark for the amount of your closing costs is between 2.5% and 3% of the purchase price of your house. There are loan types and situations in which some of this amount can be covered for you, but that is very specific to each transaction.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you should bank on having covered.
No, it's not. So let's add it all together. The first is EMD, inspection, and appraisal will be between $2,000 and $3,000. Better say $3,000 just to be on the safe side. The closing costs are going to be a percentage. So let's say you're purchasing a house for $300,000. The estimated closing costs there are going to be between $7,500 and $9,000. So the grand total cash on hand should be around $12,000 plus the amount that your lender said you needed to bring for your down payment.
Some good math you did there.
I know, and I'm not even mathy.
We hope this helps you prep for your home purchase. If you have questions, please let us know in the comments. As the kids say, like and subscribe.
We
We'll
hope
see
that
you
the
next
button's
time.
down there, by the way. Yeah.
Thanks,
Bye, guys.